Hi, coming up next on How's the Market, how COVID-19 is affecting our local and national real estate markets. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching How's the Market for May 2020. Well, at the end of the day, the long and the short of it is there just isn't enough inventory. It kind of sounded like a broken record right now, but even during this pandemic, there just isn't enough inventory to meet the buyer demand. We're finding new ways, safe ways to be able to show property and to sell property using all PPE, masks, gloves, and primarily the properties that are selling are ones that are vacant. The sellers have either permanently vacated or are vacating for a period of 2 to 4 to 6 weeks to allow the sales process to happen while they are staying in another place, renting an Airbnb, whatever the case may be. But we're finding the majority of the homes that are selling are the ones that are vacant. And we are selling homes that are owner occupied through a series of virtual showings that involve 3D photography and having the homeowner actually give tours of the house using an app like Zoom on their phone or something as simple as using FaceTime. But let's dive into the numbers real quick. Looking in Melrose, Wakefield, and Boston, in Middlesex, Suffolk, Essex, and Norfolk counties, inventory is down 43% for single family, multifamily, and condo units. The pendings are only down 30%. And if you're out there taking a look at homes right now, you feel this. There just isn't enough inventory. Even though pendings are down, the amount of inventory has fallen at a greater rate. This market is starved for inventory right now. It's very much a seller's market. Now, what does that translate into success rate for sellers? Well, for single families, it's actually 38% more, or I should say easier to get a house sold. And that's based upon what we're seeing in homes that are under agreement versus what's available. Condos, it's not surprising. Those numbers have tailed off a little bit, but only by 4%. It's only 4% harder to sell a condo now than it was a year ago. And multifamilies, 35% easier to sell a multifamily right now than it was a year ago. In terms of pricing, single families are actually up 3.2% in terms of median sales price. Condos, even though the numbers have gone down, their values are up 11.5%. Multifamilies are flat right now. We're also finding different ways to sell multifamilies if you have tenants residing in those properties. If you have any questions about that, please let us know. Looking on the national stage, taking a look at kind of buyer and seller activity nationally for February seller traffic rates. This is properties that are coming on the market. The gray states are showing very low seller traffic rates. The light blue is moderate and the dark blue is high traffic. As you can see in February, very low, especially for that time of year, especially up in the north, to have a lot of seller activity. Now let's compare that with what went on in March. Again, gray being very low seller activity. Really nothing, and not all that surprising. People just don't feel all that safe or comfortable showing their home during this period in time. But even less seller activity throughout the country. Looking at buyer activity, the buyer activity, if you take a look here, there is no gray or low activity for buyer traffic. if you take a look in Massachusetts, it would be considered high buyer traffic, as it is through most of the country. And this is in March. More up-to-date data shows us here locally. And this, you can see the graph a little bit better. Showing time is a service that real estate agents use, concierge service, to basically moderate showings. They act as a gatekeeper for agents who want to book a showing, and then being that conduit for the seller and whether or not they want to allow the showing. And they are obviously tracking all of the appointments that are made by buyer agents on listings out there. Right now, as you can see with this orange line, we took a big dip in March, not surprising, but look where we are now. We are seeing more showing activity right now than we had in February, before COVID was really a factor here locally in Massachusetts. And that number is trending upward. We are almost to the point of normal levels of showing activity. Point being, if you are a seller and you are thinking about selling, but just not quite sure on how to do it yet, talk to your agent about how showings are happening, how homes are selling right now, because the inventory is absolutely needed to meet the demand. Lots of homes, even though the overall agreement numbers are down, there's still a lot of homes that are selling, especially proportionate to what's available. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you next month. Take care. Bye.